Today we're looking at Glencoe Accelerated Math Lesson 9.1. This is part 2 of that lesson. So what we're looking at today is if we're given a function using what we call function notation, how can we solve for that output? How can we solve for a domain if we're given a range? So function notation, sorry about that, says that we have the function of some variable equals some equation. Alright? And if we look at example 3 on page 386, we say that f of x equals 4x minus 7. This is function notation. The function of x equals 4x minus 7. Now, what we can do is say that we can solve for if x equals 5. So we would find the function of 5 is equal to 4 times 5 minus 7 because we're going to substitute the 5 that we're given for our variable. Then we follow order of operations. 4 times 5 is 20. And we'd have 20 minus 7.
13.
Which is 13. So we would say that the function of 5 equals 13. What questions do we have?
How did you get 5?
How did I get 5? 5 was given.
Wait, so you'll say it?
Hold on. One at a time. Yes.
So you'll say it like the problem, you'll say what it is.
It'll say for, the directions will say, for f of this, solve for f of 3. Or solve for f of 2.
I was gonna ask you if I wasn't sure if you just came up with 5.
No. No. If we look at our example, it says, at the directions, it says, if f of x equals 4x minus 7, find each function value. And then it says, for example A, for example 3, excuse me, f of 5. So it will tell us that part. Okay? Alright, any other questions? Let's say we are looking at I want you guys to turn and look at page 388 for me. Page 388. Hold on a second. In 388, above numbers 31, 32, 33 at the bottom, it says, if f of x equals 4x minus 3, and g of x, which means it's a different function but within the same problem, equals 8x plus 2, find each function value. Does sound confusing, so you ready? If we were doing the function of g of 3, what we would do here, instead of an x, we're going to put our function g in that x spot, but where g equals 3. So if we have 4, but instead of x, we would have 4 times 8 times 3 plus 2 minus 3. So what you do is you fit one function within the other function.
Where did the x go?
X turned into the 3.
Why did you change g into 8?
So, what they did,
G is 8.
my function f of x is 4x minus 3. G of x equals 8x plus 2.
Why is there 2 equations?
Because sometimes we have multiple at the same time. So listen. So what we're doing because we're looking for the function of g of 3, first thing we're going to do, plug the 3 in for this x. Okay. Hold on. Because the function of x is g of 3, which says that for the x spot, we're going to put this part, 8 times 3 plus 2, in there.
So that whole parentheses, you put x first?
Mm-hmm. So instead of x being a single number, x became another expression.
Just a whole number.
Right. So it became a problem within a problem.
What do we need this for in real life?
Nothing.
Because sometimes you're never going to be asked what is the function of g when g equals 3. You're never going to be asked that. But being able to problem solve and to think through a problem within a problem, that's a skill that we need to have.
Yeah, because then, in the later days, we like one of those.
When we retire, we can be a mathematician.
When we were
So, what we've got going on is a way of thinking. Sometimes if there's a problem that we're trying to figure out an answer to, not necessarily math, but any problem, as you're solving one problem, do you realize that there's another problem going on as well? Sometimes, right? We got the same thing, but this time it's with math. So, guys.
you supposed to solve that?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
What's 8 times 3?
24.
Plus 2 is?
26. And
Okay,
then
so
4
this
times
is 4
26.
times 26 minus 3.
Oh, shit.
What's 4 times 26?
I drew that.
What's 4 times 25?
100.
100. Okay, then we have 4 times 1, which is 4. So put them together.
104.
104.
That's all
Minus 3, which is
101.
101.
That's all you gotta do?
Yeah.
That's how you get your answer?
Yeah.
I just don't understand how you put it together.
What? That's easier than it looks? I love it when you can say that. You do, however, need to stay face forward, please. So, this is the hard problems. You guys just did the hard problem.
Good, because I don't understand it.
Because we had, the difficult part is making sure that we put the right function within the function. Okay?
But you're wrong. I think we'll do it wrong, but you won't.
All you need is a calculator.
What? Shh. But if we can with help do the hard problems, we should be able to do the easy problems easy peasy, right?
I don't know.
Theoretically?
Low.
Theoretically?
Maybe.
Okay, so then let's try this. Let's look at f of x equals 4x minus 7.
Wait.
But instead, we're going to find f of negative 6.
Wait.
So what do I substitute x with?
Coming from.
Example 3, part B. We're going to replace x with what?
Negative 6.
Right, so we would have 4 times negative 6 minus 7. What is 4 times negative 6?
Negative
31. Oh, wait.
24.
Sorry, I looked at it.
You were going too far. Negative 24. Minus 7, which gives us a total of
Negative 30.
negative 31.
Oh my goodness. What problem was the bottom problem?
This was number 31. Okay? So, do I need you to be able to do this part today?
No.
Yes.
Not so much. Do I need you to be able to do this part today?
Yes.
If we can do this part, will it make this part easier?
No.
Yeah.
If it isn't in math, it's how to
Trying to take
make the
pictures, but she's taking
math
her away.
Okay, so, shh. We have created and simplified expressions. We've made them equal to something else to solve for our variable, correct? Okay. Now we're taking this function that is an equation. We are substituting our variable for a number that's given, and we are simplifying. We can set it up as a problem within a problem, but we don't always have to. You don't want to? Okay. Today we're going to be doing these. Our goal is to be able to solve something like this.
In a week.
Sure.
By Friday.
Sure.
Next year.
Sure. Preferably.
2015.
That was 4 years ago. Yes.
Do we have to show work on that? Because like you could type it 4 times like it's 6, 9, 7.
I need to see what you're doing.
Oh my god. We're making 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Miss Blum. I teach math. We're going to show our work.
Oh my god, I saw a post on Instagram before. You know what it said?
What?
Math stood for mental abuse to humans.
Oh, yeah.
While funny, I disagree.
It is.
All right. Any other questions before we go today?
We're still recording.
Oh my god, I know it's cool.
All right. Thank you very much.